Hello people, so Peter here down in the man shed on what is becoming a very hot afternoon. It's 3 o'clock and the temperature's rising. Beautiful day down here in London. But then what this is a video, what am I going to do? I'm going to make a video of sound. Yeah, can that be right? A video of sound? I don't know. So what I'm trying to sort of think of subjects to sort of cover on the model railway, on the layout. The layout is working fantastic. Still got all the the gauges working away like a good one. The power control, I don't know if it's the end of my problems, I hope it is, but things have definitely been running very reliably for the last few weeks, so that's great. Hello new subscribers. My gosh, the numbers are just growing and growing and growing, so thank you very much for coming along on this journey, on this little layout of mine. There we are. It's not much of it, that's all of it, but try to sort of share with you things that my experiences and whatever of what goes on it. So we've got the 37 going around. I've got the sound off at the moment, otherwise you won't hear me, and I've got a Bachmann going around. That one I'm quite chuffed, is a Bitzer. I've basically built that one up now to be how you would have bought it straight from Bachmann, but the body shells come from somewhere, the chassis come from somewhere, the PCB boards come from somewhere, you name it, it's a real Bitzer. But now she's running as it would have been had I bought that straight off from Bachmann. That's the model that it should have been. So I'm quite chuffed with that. I've got that on running fine. She's fitted with a Hornby TTS decoder because it is a Bitzer, and it's what I had left over from one. I tried it out once and I thought, right, to get it running. But she's good. Right, so what's this video about? And I said about sound. Right, I'm going to make a film of the different sounds of fitted decoders that's fitted into my Bachmanns and my Hattons. Alright, now I've got 12 Class 66s. What we got? We've got 4 on the layout at the moment. Those 2 there, the 2 Hattons, that one's a Bachmann, the red one's a Bachmann. So there's 4 66s on the layout, and the rest of them are here. There's my little fleet of 66s. Two the same liveries, as regards the brown, which is the EWS's one. The very first one I probably started off with is a good old sound fitted one from Bachmann, and then that one came off of Flea Bay. But otherwise, all the other ones not sound fitted. I've put all the chips in myself. The only one that came with sound was the EWS. But I'm going to make a video demonstrating. Won't show all of these. Don't need to, because what we got. This one on the end is the Bachmann sound fitted. So it's an ESU lock sound chip in there with a Southwest Digital sound file on there. And then all these others, I bought the chips from was it Rouse of Sheffield, ESU chips, and they all come with Southwest Digital sound files on them as well. So although these ones I've had to put the sound files in the sound chip in myself, they sound exactly the same as the Bachmann one does. Alright, so I'm not going to film all of these, there's no point. But there are 2 Soundtrax ones on here. So that one here has got a Soundtrax decoder in it, and that one. So that's a different sound to the other Bachmanns. And then obviously on the layout is the 2 Hattons, and they're fitted with Lego Man Biffo's sound files. Alright, so that's what this video is going to be about. So once I stop waffling, there will be I'll put the locos on the rolling roads, and we'll start them up, and you hear the horn, and you'll hear the differences in the pitch as they're running. And that way then it's all filmed at the same time on this camera. And although sound doesn't come across too good on videos, obviously you can't beat actually being there. My little environment here in a small shed with a small layout, don't have the sounds blasting out, but they're noisy enough. Hence that's why I've got them going around at the moment with no sound on them. There's just enough noise coming from just rolling around the track. So I hope you enjoy, and then maybe I'll do another one later. We'll see how this one goes, if you like it. As I say, I will do a video of the TTS decoder one, the one that's going around, because that's a one sound file. I'll do a video of the sound fitted Bachmann, because they're all the same, and then I will do a video of the Soundtrax, because that's slightly different again, and then of course the two Hattons, because yet again different. But what I have done, maybe I've done it for you, is all the speakers that are fitted in these locos. You'll probably, before you start telling me, oh yeah, but if you fit such and such a speaker you'll get a better sound, you know, I've experimented with speakers. There we are. Nice little range there. So there's your bog standard TTS one, the horrible thing. That one is the Bachmann one, slightly better quality. Obviously it fits into the sound chamber, that would help. And then I tried these other ones, slightly bassy ones, yeah. So I've tried them all out in all the 66s, and there's the Sugar Cube. Now the Sugar Cube, I must admit, I am using, and she is in the Class 70, because as you know, it's very narrow body, isn't it? So, and she works. I did try changing it for an iPhone, and I didn't like it. I think the iPhone picks up some sort of high frequency noises that I'd never noticed before just using the Sugar Cube. So I've gone back to using the Sugar Cube on that one. That's another one that just comes with one of the other things. But in the TTS fitted Bachmann 66 is a single iPhone speaker. Everything else, guys, everything else, including the Hattons, the fantastic double iPhone, which is obviously two of these put together to give you the double iPhone. That's rated at 8 ohms. Because there's two of these in parallel, I think it's parallel, it becomes 4 ohms. That's the Rolling Road that I'm using to do the video in a minute. I've got to get sorted out, alright? But see, I've gone through, apart from buying an EM1 or an EM2, because they wouldn't fit in my models without some serious modifications to the locos that I wasn't prepared to do. Not for the sound, and to be honest with you guys, as you'll see in my movie, I'm not a fan of the EM2, so not bothered that I've never tried it. So don't tell me to try it, because I won't. Right, okay, so there we are. So hopefully, you know, I've done my research. I've you know, tried, tested different versions. They don't cost a fortune, so that's why I, you know, persevered and just bought one or so of the others, and it doesn't take a minute to solder them on. And obviously, when you do the sound things, it's important to put the body back on, because they do sound different once you've got a body shell back on, or if they're in the fuel tanks or something like that. It's important. But anyway, so this video is going to be about the 66s, all right? So I hope you enjoy, and hope it's not too loud. You're going to be sick of the sound of 66s at the end of this. Alright guys, alright, so again, thanks to new subscribers on my little channel, it's very appreciated, and check you guys out later, but carry on watching. Alright, so bye for now, carry on watching. Cheers. Okay, so the first one we'll start off with is this Bachmann, fitted with Hornby's TTS decoder and a single iPhone speaker for the TTS, rated at 8 ohms. Okay, so that's the single iPhone speaker. Right, let's start her up. So she's got that lovely whine of a Class 66, but you notice it didn't have the buzzer warning of, you know, impending engine startup that the other decoders do have. All right, but you know, very good. I've changed the algorithm on the decoder to number 1 from the 0. I don't know, I just wasn't sure if the motor on the Bachmann 66 is draws more power than the motor in maybe the Hornby 66. I don't know. I don't own a Hornby 66, so I've got no experience. But I'll just speed her up a little bit, and then we move on to the next loco. So that's idle. Now air brakes goes on. So that's how she would be running. She's running at speed step 6 at the moment. That's the horn. It's on mid-range. Hornby's sound file, well, I don't know what you call it, but it's from 0 to 8 settings, and it's on function. It's on setting for sound. And it's good enough for me in this shed, and it's been a small layout, you know, it's not as if it's travelling 20-60 feet away from me, so I can't hear it. Speed up a little bit more. So that's the continuous running sound that you would get. Take it up to speed step 10 out of 28 speed steps. And on this little layout, it should be going around comfortably fast, maybe too fast. But there you are, that's not too bad, is it? This is the Hornby TTS. Slow it down. And then she'll get that whine as she approaches the lower numbers. There you go. So there we are. So that's the Hornby TTS. Next one I'm going to do is Soundtrax. Okay, it's back again. Bachmann number 2. This one is fitted with the American chip Soundtrax. Now this is the one that for the English market, the Soundtrax chip comes with 6 different sound locos on the memory, and with a CV change you choose what engine it is that you've bought the chip for. I've done a video in the past, I think, where I demonstrated. I mean, it starts off with a class 20 and so on and so on. But to me, I think the best one is this one, which is the 66. So obviously it suited me to have it for this one. So this one's unusual as regards you've got the start and stop the sound. If you didn't change a CV, as soon as power went to the track, the thing would start kicking in. So, but it's a simple CV change. One of my subscribers let me know on the comments, you know, what to do, so I was grateful to him, because it means I can have the thing on the track without it always starting up every time I put power. But anyway, so let's have a listen to her. She's got 3 horn settings on this one, because start up is number 5. The horn number 1 is a horn, and so 1, 2 and 3 are horns. And because number 1 is a hold, and you know, it goes on, it's not an on-off. The on-off one is number 2, and the last one is the 2-tone. And then as soon as you turn it off again, it'll go again. Right, so that's that. But now function 5 is start up. So this one, again, fitted with a single iPhone speaker, because it's only rated at 8 ohms, the chip. I think they warn you that you'll blow the chip up if you put anything higher than 8. So good old single iPhone again. But you can hear there's other functions, automatic functions, poppet valves, cut-in. Again, if you go into CVs, you can turn all these things off if you want, but this is out of the box. The only CVs I altered on this particular chip is just so the thing wouldn't kick off as soon as the power went to the track. Otherwise, it's absolutely as it was. So I'm really happy with this one. Right, let's accelerate. And this one again happily runs at speed step 10, more than fast enough for my little layout, out of 28 speed steps. So I'll take her all the way up to 10 where she would be normally running. And that's the constant whine that you would get of her running around at a constant speed. Not a bad chip. Not as expensive as the ESUs, a little bit more expensive than the TTS Hornbys. Right, slow it down. Hear the poppet valve? That's going all the time. You'll get that even as it's going around at speed. You may not notice it so much, but the poppet valve is there all the time. And now I'll shut it down. That's it. So that is Soundtrax in a Bachmann Loco with an 8 ohm single iPhone speaker fitted. Right, I think next one we'll have your conventional Bachmann Loco that was bought. Right, here we are. Now this will look familiar to those of us who've got our 66s. This is the factory fitted sound version of the 66. Which is an ESU lock sound chip, made for Bachmann, so it's slightly cut down features, so you can't send it off to Lego Man Biffo to be reblown. It won't allow you to do it. However, she's fitted with Southwest Digital sound file, and that's also the same sound file that I've got on all the chips that I bought for my other 66s when I went for the ESU lock sound route. If you buy them from where I did, which was Rowells of Sheffield, they're all got this Southwest Digital sound file on them. Okay, so it sounds exactly the same. This one being factory fitted sounds exactly the same as the ones that I bought and fitted myself. So I won't be putting those ones on there because they sound all exactly the same. But it's not fitted with the silly little tinny speaker that came with the Bachmann. This is fitted with a double iPhone speaker, all right, which is means it's rated at 4 ohms, which this chip can cope with. The little tinny speaker that comes factory fitted is also 4 ohms rated, but I'm sorry, I think the iPhone, this is what this video is all about, I think the iPhone speaker's far superior. Right, so we'll start this up, and this is going to sound familiar to a lot of you who got this particular Loco or I've got a Bachmann sound fitted 66. So we'll start her up. And we're into the classic 66 whine. Now you notice that on this one and the previous soundtracks, as opposed to the Hornby, they've all got their startup warning klaxons or whatever you call it, you know, before the engine starts. The Hornby one doesn't have that one, it goes straight into engine startup. But both the soundtracks, the ESU fitted ones, and later on the Hattons ones, they've all got the startup. So again, we'll take her up to what I normally use as a running speed. Well, I'll do the horns, I suppose. We've all heard them. Right, we'll start running it. As it goes up through the speed steps, you know. If you can hear a rumbling, I'm afraid that's the rolling road. So that is now running at speed step 10 out of 28, and that's what I would normally run it at. So that is your constant drone that you would get running around my layout. Right, so she's a constant. Double iPhone speaker. Great. Right, slow her down. Coming down to 3, so she's got that 66 whine as it would be crawling along. And finally off. So that's off now, she's not moving, but that's the sound of tick over, yeah? And shut down. Okie dokie. Right, okay, so the first of my Hattons, fitted with the same, exactly the same chip that you would have got had you got the sound fitted variety, but obviously I missed the boat on that one. But Lego Man Biffo sells these chips, and that's what's been fitted into there, so it's exactly the same as the sound fitted one. Yeah, if you got the sound fitted one, would you have had the issues that I had? Well, possibly, because even if I bought the sound fitted one, I wanted to fit a driver, so the body shell would have had to come off, even if I didn't have to, in order to fit a driver. But in the case of this one, as you may have known from my previous videos, this didn't run out the box. But having said that, it's now one of the best locos I possess. This one and the other Hattons. So, well, yes, you shouldn't have had to do the work on it, obviously, but it's done and dusted, and it's, as I say, it's one of the best ones. So yeah, driver fitted, changed the directions so that number one end is under the exhaust. I didn't like the, I don't know why. So everything got changed from the default settings that you buy the loco with, so I had to change the buffers, so the coupling was at the other end, swap the buffers about, and one thing and another. And of course the main thing was to get that the axle boxes, which, well, I don't look for them. I mean, they've been on there, how long has it been now? Quite a while, isn't it? No issues at all, runs well. But anyway, enough of that, let's start her up. So this one, oh yeah, the other thing I've done on this one, I've gone against the norm. Everybody's going on about the EM2 speaker, oh yeah, I think, is it Earth Mover 2? I think it's horrible. I'm sorry, not for the 66. It may be alright for a Class 37 or for, some of the older ones, some of the older diesels, but a 66 has a whine, and I don't think it's a bassy whine that you get with the Earth Mover 2, and so, or the EM2, or what they call it. And so also it's quite hard to put it into this. People were saying those people who did fit it in themselves had a bit of, you know, fiddling around with the wiring, saying, oh, not a lot of space. Well, this is fitted with the double iPhone speaker. Surprise, surprise. And yeah, space is not, it's absolutely, it's a doddle, you know, it's so easy. And the sound to me is, sorry, it is a 66. It's a different sound to the Bachmann, you know, to the ESU with the Bachmanns and the Hornby, admittedly. It's Legoman Biffo, it's superb sound file on it, it really is good. So you will, you know, you'll notice it. All right, you can go back over this video and compare it to the my other 66s. But yeah, all credit to Legoman, fantastic sound file. But I don't think it. Sorry, when I see I'd watch loads and loads of videos on YouTube, and these guys, you know, freight videos, and there's been a couple where the 66 pulls away at the platform where the guy is filming. Sorry, it doesn't sound anything like what the EM2 does, but it doesn't sound. This doesn't sound a million miles away from this particular sound from the double iPhone. It's all right. Enough waffle. Let's start it up. So it's still got a discernible difference in the pitch from the my other 66s. And if you can imagine, if that had an EM2 speaker in it, it'd be even more bassier. And I don't think that's right. But anyway, so horn. And that's it. Obviously, one of my subscribers was thought how wonderful that it's got cab lights that turn off when the thing moves. Well, that's another Legoman Biffo feature. So I put the cab light on now, and obviously as soon as she starts to move, it will go off automatically. It's what Legoman Biffo does with these chips. He's a good bloke. So let's put it away. Again, speed step 10 out of 28 is what I use this going around, and it's a good speed range. It's not too fast, so it should be just right. So let's start pulling away. Again, air compressor noises and things, all automatic sounds. So that's the constant speed that you get, the noise that you would get going around at a setting, constant setting. I will let it run a little bit, because what happened, you hear it sort of tone down a little bit, and then she will speed up again. Alright, so that's now going to be cutting in all the time. So every 20 seconds or so it will do that pitch change. I'm not lying. Maybe it's not 20 seconds. There you go. It will do it more frequently the longer it's actually running at constant speed. It's only because it's just been started off, that's why she was quite a long duration between that speed, that tone change. But there you are. So that's that one, and you can hear the valves releasing, air valves releasing, all part and parcel of it. So I'll slow it. I'll turn it off. And as she comes to slow speed, she'll get more of that whine. So to me, that's still, it's still a nice 66 sound without it being too bassy. Okay, I'll turn her off. All these valves going off here, they're air release systems and things. Right, turn her off. Okie dokie, so that's that one. Right, okay, so forgive me for putting yet another Hattons 66 on there. And the reason why I've done that one is that this one has got slight variations in the sound file. What Legoman have done, because as you may or may not know out there, there's different types of the 66 engine. There's the early version, which you're looking at there now, with the large fuel tank and slight other differences, as opposed to the last one you just saw, which was what's known as the low emission 66, which has got the door down the side, and also the slower, the smaller fuel tank is the giveaway. And I think the different modifications to the engine on the low emission ones. I'm not a rivet count, so I don't know everything. But what Legoman's done, again using CVs, you can change the startup sequence depending on what version of the 66 you've got. So the low emission version, yes, it went off with the warning klaxon, but it didn't have the primer. This one, I think it's a primer that it goes on for quite a bit. You can shorten it down, or you can override it by pressing F1 again and whatever, but I'll give you the beat. So again, same thing with this one. I fitted the sound file, the sound decoder from Legoman, so I had the joy of taking the body off, and again, same thing, man in the cab, and change the direction. So number one is underneath the exhaust, and obviously once again doing all the work with the wheels and these axle boxes, as they're called, which again is done and dusted, sorted, and as I say, these two are amongst the best locos on my layout. So the engine on them, regardless of all the other problems with the Hattons, the engines they put on them, well, they're brilliant. But anyway, enough of that. Would like to get another one, but unfortunately the next batch that's just come out, they're still suffering the same issues. I mean, these locos had their problems, and I was on the verge of sending them back, but for the fact that the bodies were fine. There was no faults, no glue, the nameplates are on square, this, that and the other. Other people not only have the axle box issues, but also, the grills are lifted up and things like that. All these, oh, not the camera, sorry, put that back. I think what I had to do, I had to lift that up. That was the grill there was slightly raised, so I had to unpick it and re-glue it. And I don't use super glue, I use card glue, because card glue dries clear, and also where you put the card glue under, when it's it will hold it, as you can see. But the great thing about using card glue, which is a PVA at the end of the day, is that with a cocktail stick, a moist cocktail stick, any residue that came out as I was squishing it down and a little bit of PVA eased out the edges, it just wiped off with a cotton bud, and doesn't damage the paintwork, gets rid of it all, leaving the card glue underneath to do its job, which is, as you can see, stuck it down beautifully. So yes, so all these sort of things, all the little, I think one of these grills was lifting out a little bit, so again, same sequence. So they've all had a lot of work done on them, but they're now, they are A1 now. But this one, a longer startup feature because of this primer, so it goes on for a bit. Here we go. So the other 66 would have had exactly the same sound file, but you change the CV, so this doesn't happen. back to the old alarm. I'll just get that bit more focused and centered. There we are. I've got a damn fly flying around the place. I don't know why a fly is interested in my model railway, but there you are. That's me doing that, pressing the 2 buttons. Doesn't always happen. Makes me out to be a liar, it works. Up to speed, step 10. It's not moving yet, it's just building up. Now she's moving. You can hear the rumbling, but you can see that she's absolutely rock steady. Where I've done the work on the axle boxes, paid off dividends. So I don't get no wobbling, and I don't have to go around my layout looking for axle boxes. They've never come off after I've done my modification. There we are. There's the change of tone again. Then she'll increase. Alright, so this is it. So okay, I'll bring it down from there, but this is the 66s that I own. Bring her to a halt. So there we are, and I suppose just to do a comparison, I'll just bring the Hornby one into play, and I'll start the Hornby one up, and you'll hear the difference in the notes. A lot higher, the pitch is a lot higher, isn't it? But then there's Class 66s like that, so that's why I didn't want to put an EM2 speaker in it, because again, fitted with the double iPhone. Turn that off, take it out of the way, and I'll turn off the big one. Okay people, so they're my 66 sounds. So there's 2 Hattons, there's 2 Soundtraxes, there's 1 Hornby, and the rest are ESU with the Southwest Digital sound files on them. Turn that off. Alright, so there we are then. So I hope that's been just with the sound that this camera picks up, but even though it's very hard to judge sound over a video and everything, the fact that I've put all these different ones on there, you hopefully will have seen there was or heard there is a difference. But next ones I will probably do for you will be the Class 37s, if that's alright. So I'll call it a day with this video, just showing you the 66s, otherwise it'll go on forever and you'll get bored, and if you're not already. But the other ones I got, which again I've got a variation in the sound chips in them, are my Class 37s, alright? So I'll do another video of that later on, okay guys? So with that, yeah, so bye for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care everybody. Bye bye.